At the World War II Memorial in Washington, the silence is profound. It marks a war remembered for sacrifice and triumph, but also one experienced unevenly across the world. In the United States, the mainland was never bombed. No cities were occupied. No skies filled with enemy fire. For many Americans, war remained distant. A story of valor told from afar, not a trauma lived at home. This distance shaped not only memory, but the very way that war is understood. Being here, you feel the enormity of a world war that literally touched everyone on the planet. War really isn't about trenches and tactics. The cost of war is felt in the hearts of cities and civilians. Its signature is etched on homes turned to rubble. While I wasn't alive to experience World War II, like most visitors here, you feel something, a connection, a quiet grief that doesn't need translation. Growing up in the U.S., I learned about the London Blitz in textbooks. We all did. Blitz is an abbreviation for Blitzkrieg, the German word for lightning war. And that's what it was. Thousands of Nazi bombs raining down on London, shattering everything from structures to psyches. A chapter in history, we heard about it in school. It was an iconic moment in the story of World War II. The Blitz wasn't just about military targets, it was about terror. Bombs hurling down from the sky, hitting civilians, factories, and homes. The Luftwaffe was attempting to pierce the very heart of London. In just a few months, the city became a war zone. The goal was clear: to destroy Britain's spirit. Cities were left in ruins, and the immediate toll was staggering. Yet the cost wasn't just in lost buildings. It was in the resources, the workers, the lives, the key elements needed to fuel the fight against Nazi Germany. Over 40,000 civilians died, and much of the city lay in ruins. These images, these stories are a part of history we can never forget. War, destruction, resilience. And in this room, surrounded by these echoes from the past, I don't just see the past, I feel it. And yet there's a part of me that still feels removed, struggling to truly feel the weight of what they lived through.
That the tragedy of the Second World War is a global tragedy in which, in fact, many areas experienced similar trauma. And I think the difference here is between countries that were occupied, such as my home country, the Netherlands, or France, or Belgium, but also China. It's very different from the experience or the perspective of countries that were not occupied, like the United Kingdom or the United States.
At pretty much the same time, on the other side of the world, another city stood under an even greater threat. It may not look like the future you imagine, but step into China's Chongqing and you'll feel it. A city alive with heat, noise, and its constant motion. Chongqing never rests. Not because of its lights or towers, but because of a spirit that refuses to be dimmed. Its drive runs much deeper. In World War II, the same city stood in ruins. It began with a distant hum in the sky. A warning siren. Then, the whine of engines. Then, fire. From 1938 to 1944, Chongqing was bombed over 200 times by the Japanese military. More than 11,500 bombs fell on this mountain city, making it one of the longest and most sustained aerial bombardments in modern warfare. Entire neighborhoods were flattened. Hospitals, schools, factories turned to ash. An estimated 32,000 were killed or injured, and over 17,000 buildings were destroyed. But the city didn't fall. Through 6 years of relentless assault, Chongqing's people endured, living, working, and resisting, all beneath the cascading and relentless bombs. More than a besieged wartime capital, Chongqing was the industrial heart of China's resistance, and the city where the will to fight never flickered. Amid overwhelming devastation, the British response became a symbol: keep calm and carry on. In Chongqing, however, the people grew stronger with each blast, encouraging one another in the face of adversity. A simple message, a call to action, a reminder that even in the darkest times, life must go on. As bombs rained from above, another threat surged from below. Japanese troops were closing in on the ground, advancing up the Yangtze, aiming to seize land and the country's industrial capabilities to enhance its own military power. China stood at a crossroads. Would its industry be crushed on the battlefield, or carried to safety before it was too late? China embarked on a monumental westward retreat, relocating its industrial heart from the vulnerable eastern coast to the safety of the interior. Over 3 years, 448 factories were moved, each a vital treasure preserved, later fueling China's fierce resistance against the invading forces.
Every river pointing westward was heavy laden. Every sampan, every barn was pressed into service, weighted down to the water's edge with the precious tools for new China.
Many patriotic entrepreneurs devoted themselves into this epic effort. Lu Zhoufu, founder of Minsheng Shipping Company, played a vital role. Through his fleet of Minsheng Company, Lu led what history would call China's Dunkirk, the daring Yichang evacuation. A bold act of resilience amid the shadows of war. in just 40 grueling days, 30,000 people and more than 100,000 tons of vital machinery were dismantled by hand, packed, and moved upriver through the narrow, dangerous gorges from Yichang to Chongqing. This massive operation faced constant Japanese air raids. Over 80 ships were bombed, resulting in the sinking of some of the vessels on this treacherous route.
中国呢，经济不发达，它是一个农业国家，仅有的这些民族工业都是非常有限的，这都是我们的火种。它能把这些火种能够带到呢这个大后方，带到大西南，这个对于这个积贫积弱的中国，这个意义是非常深远的。就和当年的这个英国这33万部队一样，把他们带回英国，它起到作用同样是巨大的。
The Yichang evacuation transformed a desperate retreat into a vital strategy. It did not just save China's remaining machines and factories, but it also boosted confidence in China's long-term war of resistance, safeguarding its industry, its scientists, and its hope for the future. Today, the very same river carries a different cargo. Electric vehicles instead of generators under threat. But the journey endures.
江往939，江往939。哎，我民生号稍微站高点哈，我在你尾头来站。3个9，你还有速度噻，你还准备站高点噻。渝公里502，民生号哈，民生号给你过红灯哈，过红灯。我叫谢丹，我现在任职于民生号，职务是船长。 最后一趟了，最后一趟车，你倒是注意到看下水池左右歪不歪好。要么装，现在是计划装。第一场主甲板应该都差不多了。
Captain Xie Dan is a part of a new supply chain along the Yangtze River, a green corridor linking inland China to global markets.
我的价值就是通过我们的发航到上海，中国海船转运，把商品汽车运向全世界。 觉得还是中国的车出口，我自己贡献了一部分。
To Xie, this isn't just a job,
帮忙看下那个灯儿那些哈，检查传明了，好。
it's a relay.
民生号，在水泥上密升基地，准备由南向北。
A modern chapter in a much older story of industry, survival, and the belief that when the world shifts, you either lead the change or you're left behind.